Welcome to A Direction Forward, Season 4, Episode 4. And I'm going to talk about real depth and integrity. It seems to be, I don't know why, but it seems to be that these are hard to find. In a world that's growing faker and more manufactured by the day, people that have integrity feel like a breath of fresh air. A lot of women like to act like they have real depth and integrity, but when it comes down to it, they just don't. So every now and then you'll meet a woman who really walks the walk, and though she'll reveal it through casual comments that she makes. And I'm mostly talking about women, and the reason why I'm mostly talking about women is because I Googled it, integrity in men, and nothing came up. I even checked with my new best friend, ChatGPT, and ChatGPT really didn't have anything to say, about men, or didn't go into depth like this article that I found went into depth. So integrity, women display traits like depth and integrity, and it's a sign that a person is more concerned. A sign that someone's more concerned with intrinsic values than extrinsic values. So intrinsic values include things like relationships with others, while extrinsic values, I'm having a hard time saying that, include things like wealth. While it's not bad to focus on extrinsic values, intrinsic values can really make a difference in who you are and who the person is. And so there's 11 things, I'm just going to go through 11 things that a woman with integrity, actual depth and integrity, will say casually. The first one is, I was wrong about that. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many times I've said I was wrong about that. A woman with depth and integrity will not be afraid to admit that she's wrong, and she won't make a big deal about it. Instead, she'll just casually slip the observation into a conversation. It's not easy to say you were wrong, especially if it's about a matter that was very public. But this kind of woman doesn't give it a second thought. She doesn't think that acknowledging she was wrong makes her look bad. Instead, it makes her look strong and secure. The other one is, I want to hear what you have to say. You know, there's two sides to every story, and I know I've started off season 4 talking about, what's his name? What name did I give him? Oh yeah, Tom. About how how he's emotionally immature and severe avoidant issues. So saying, I want to hear what you have to say, would be, his side of the story. So a woman with integrity doesn't want to just run the whole show by herself. Instead, she will recognize the value of receiving input from everyone involved. She wants to hear what other people have to say, and she encourages them to speak up. That's really a good thing, because you want to make sure that you know both sides of the story. People with integrity and depth know that they aren't the smartest person in the room, and they never pretend that they are. When a woman asks someone to speak up and share their thoughts on a certain matter, she is giving them the opportunity to be part of a community and to feel heard as they connect with others. Women who have depth and integrity will understand how important it is to do this. Another one is, that was hard, but I'm glad I did it. Oh boy. It was hard. It was hard breaking up with this person, but you know what? I'm glad I did it. When someone can recognize that challenges are good because they give them an opportunity to grow and become stronger, that's a sure sign of a person who is deep and has integrity. A woman who acknowledges that she's glad she went through the hard things because they have taught her important lessons is clearly on the right track. It shows her awareness of herself and the world around her. And I learned a lesson. Number 4. I trust myself. Well, I need to trust myself more, and I need to go with my intuition more, and especially with this last one. Right. I mean, like within a month, I was maybe a month and a half. I wanted to break up with him. I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't there. Just, I don't know. I just knew that there was something that wasn't quite right. And I knew deep down, I knew that Gal Pal was not going to go anyplace. If anyone was going to go anyplace, it was me. And that was certainly an amen. So anyway, a woman that says, I trust myself, will know that she can trust herself. It might not have always been that way for her. It's possible that there was a time when she struggled to trust herself and her instincts, but she's come out of those times stronger, and I have too, and now knows that she can depend on herself. She won't be afraid to admit that she trusts herself and feels confident in her choices, and I'm not going to do that again. If I have any intuition or any thoughts of that, it's just not working out, this is just not for me, I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm not gonna continue. I'm not gonna think, oh, things are gonna get better, because they didn't. Number 5, winning isn't everything. A lot of people are focused on winning in the fast-paced competitive world where we live. They want to come in first no matter what. But women with depth and integrity don't follow this model. They believe that knowing they did their best is enough of a reward, and they don't need a first-place medal to prove their worth. Their worth is inherent in who they are and can't be changed by success or lack thereof. And that's really a good one, because it's always easy, it's easy for winning to feel like it is, in fact, everything. We all want to come out on top and have bragging rights, but those things aren't always important to women with depth and integrity. Number 6, I'm always learning. Oh yeah, like I said, I just learned a big lesson on this last one, a big one. Number 1, if a guy says he's got a gal pal, run, do not walk, run the opposite direction for as long as you can, as fast as you can. Same thing goes if he says, I've got a gal pal. Again, run, do not walk, opposite direction, as far as you can, as fast as you can. So I'm always learning. Women with depth and integrity definitely don't think they know everything. They take on the role of lifelong learners who are always trying to better themselves. They would never assume to be an expert on a certain subject, even if some other people see them that way. They know there's always more that they can do to add to their knowledge on any topic, and it will always benefit them. These kinds of women can truly create positive change in the world. People who remain stagnant in their knowledge and believe they know everything there is to know are not the ones who innovate. Instead, it's the ones who continue learning and keep up with challenging and changing realities. Women with depth and integrity understand this and want to keep learning for this reason. So it's a good thing I learned. Tell me if I ever make you feel differently. Women with depth and integrity are all about respect and treating other people well. And that's one thing I have to say with, what's his name, Tom. He didn't respect me. He didn't prioritize me. I didn't feel safe. There was no love. And that should have been like big, major red flags right there. So women with depth and integrity are all about respect and treating other people well. Part of the whole idea of integrity is really acting the same way whether people are watching you or not. That means treating everyone with respect, from a server to a CEO. These women will want the people close to them to let them know if they ever make them feel disrespected or uncared for, and they'll invite them to tell them so. Women with these traits respect themselves, so they would have no problem speaking up if they felt like they weren't receiving that respect from someone else, especially someone important to them. They would expect other people to return the favor and let them know if they ever feel like they treat them with anything other than the utmost respect and kindness. And I will tell you that Gal Pal did not speak me with respect. Gal Pal did not treat me with respect and kindness. She didn't like me. She made it quite clear she didn't like me. And no matter what I did or said or tried to do, it was never going to work out because she didn't like me. She didn't want her little, Tommy boy to go away to, someone else. Number 8, I'm not into drama. Oh my goodness. I will say that his group of friends were the most dramatic drama. Oh my God, people that I have ever met in a long time. They were always putting someone under the bus. You know, if it wasn't Gal Pal, it was someone else. If it wasn't someone else, it was always someone. And I just didn't feel comfortable around them. I didn't feel like I could say anything or do anything. I didn't want to say or do anything, actually. And all I did was sit back and watch everything. But anyway, I'm not into drama, and I'm not into drama. Women with integrity and depth are definitely not here for drama. Well, some women really seem to crave drama and get into it however they can. Whether it's in real life or even through watching TV shows, women with depth know drama is pointless and it's just a waste of time and energy. And I saw that. I saw that with his group. They see no point in getting into some kind of verbal altercation with other women just to entertain themselves or to prove that they're capable of creating drama. They're above that, and I was way above that. So women with depth and integrity do not struggle with this at all because they have already established a strong sense of self. They know who they are, and they're established. They trust themselves with their decision-making skills. They aren't looking for any kind of a validation that could come with riling people up or pulling folks to the side. They're content as it is. And there's one woman in that group that she was constantly trying to, either she was with someone that was a problem or there was someone that was a problem in the group and she was throwing her under the bus, or it was always something. And I didn't trust her at all. Number 9, we can agree to disagree. Well, women with integrity and depth aren't looking for drama. They aren't looking for a fight either. They understand that no one is going to agree with them on every single point, even the person who is closest to them. So they accept that they'll agree to disagree instead. They don't turn this into a big deal and use it as a chance to show how accommodating they are. When they say it, they generally mean it. It's no longer an issue. This is what deep women with integrity are trying to do. They want to really have conversations with people they disagree with. They don't want things to go so far that they or the person they're speaking to starts acting nasty, but they want to engage discussion and open dialogue regardless of personal opinions. They don't see disagreement as the end of a relationship, ever. Well, not like, what's his name, Tom. He didn't want any type of disagreements. He just folded up, took his toys, left like a little 8-year-old boy, and, bye-bye. Number 10, it's important to be honest with each other. Oh, boy. Here we go. Women with integrity know how important honesty is. It's a key part of having integrity, after all. Whether they're talking to their partner, a friend, or family member, or a colleague, they want that person to share their authentic, honest self and opinions. And, of course, they'll do the same in return. Still, they'll say this casually because they just expect it as the norm and the standard everybody has, except everybody doesn't. If you're an avoidant, you're not going to have that. If you don't like someone, you're not going to have that. Deep women with integrity are well aware of this fact. They understand that honesty is essential for any relationship to thrive, and they aren't afraid to say so. They are honest with the people they encounter, and they expect the same courtesy in return. There is no other way for the world to work successfully, and they're willing to push for what they deserve in this matter. And I believe in honesty, too. The last one, I prefer real conversations. Oh, boy. I do, too, except the person I was with. You couldn't have a real conversation because if you had a real conversation with him, once again, he was emotionally immature and he was an avoidant. So I have a new name for him. I call him Shrimp Man because he reminds me of a shrimp. Because a shrimp, when they're encountered with any type of thing, they'll just go backwards. They just go backwards so fast. So I think he's a shrimp. Is it any surprise that a woman with depth would value conversations that go beyond the surface level? And again, Shrimp Man was surface only. There was no depth to him. Of course, this kind of woman is going to say that she prefers to have real conversations on deep topics that are more than just small talk and niceties. No part of this woman is shallow, including the conversation she engages in. Everything has to be real and vulnerable. Anyone can have a polite chat about the weather and the news of the day. Well, that was Shrimp Man. Women of depth and integrity crave something deeper, and I did. They want to be vulnerable with people, even if they don't know them incredibly well. Having real deep conversations is essential to them. They don't want to stay in the shallow end. Instead, they open up and they want others to do the same. So they aren't afraid to mention it. So once again, I Googled, and even my good friend ChatGPT, to see about men and integrity. And it was just kind of amazing, what it comes up with, because it's not what you think. You're thinking that you're going to get an answer or something. Something they're going to say. Oh yeah, this is what a guy. This is a guy for you. But no, it didn't. It just says that that both men and women have integrity, but it doesn't go into, like I just started, talking about integrity. It doesn't, if you're asking, can men have integrity? This is ChatGPT. The answer is absolutely yes. Integrity isn't tied to gender. It's a human trait that means being honest, consistent in your values, and doing the right thing, even when it's difficult. That being said, just like with any group, some men do and some don't. Integrity depends on a person's character, upbringing, experiences, and choices, not whether they're male or female. So again, men can have integrity, I guess, but it's a human trait. And if you run into someone that, is emotionally immature and also an avoidant, you're not going to get any integrity or depth. I'm going to tell you right now, they're just a surface person only. And good luck with that. I mean, seriously, good luck with that, because it's not going to get any better than that. It's not. You might as well just, stop trying. Don't even try, because they're not going to change. You can't change them. The only way they can change is if they go through serious counseling, and they're not going to do that. So you're just wasting your time, energy, and ability to not be hurt. My advice again to you is to run, don't walk, opposite direction as far as you can go for as long as you can go. Any questions, or if you'd like to send me a question, feel free. My email is adirectionforward@yahoo.com. I hope you enjoyed this podcast about integrity and depth, and have a great day.